Welcome to Millenia. Entities of any one of the coils, be ye man, woman, child, spirit, creature, or demon, be ye a native migrator or even innovator into the lands. I welcome you, for I am your host, the Millennium Mailman, here today to deliver you the intel, the news, the bits on the realm of Millenia. For I'll be world building here long after you've already begun to acclimate and fit in. So go ahead, sit back, relax, and chill out, bro, and enjoy this Tourism Tuesday. I am not in the white tee because I could not find it. Yeah, I know. I could not find the white t-shirt today. And I didn't feel like going on a walk in the middle of the day because I'm just that antisocial. So, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. There's no white tee today. But, yeah. Today's Tourism Tuesday is a bit of a little cut-in excerpt expose on a particular character design I had, because they're not really going to be much of a big character and mainstay a part of any of the novels at this point in time, to my knowledge. So I'm going to share them with you because it shouldn't be much of a spoiler to anything at all, let alone the main plot and anything. It's not a spoiler. So here's a little expose for anyone who wants to know about this concept, design and art for the particular character. Dreamer! Yes, you've heard of him before. If you've seen all the videos, you've heard of Dreamer. The Dreamer. Yes, that came from a real life person, along with my rendition of his character, from the question of, do people really die in their sleep? Or when people die, do they just happen to wake up to their real self? Does anyone ever really die in their sleep? Or is it that when we die in our sleep, we just wake up to the real reality, right? So I went and forced myself to go down a bit of a rabbit hole that lasted like 4 or 5 hours. And I was out in a public space when I did that, so I was quite literally burning through all of my mobile phone battery in a place I had no quick means, because I'm fairly certain I was with family or something, and thus I was very much not the main driver, so I couldn't just run away or anything. But I had this idea, so I literally just started opening up a text message to myself to get this concept idea down for the particular character, where I was like, I am stuck here for the next 5 hours. I don't know nobody here, to be honest with you. And I have this book idea that I really do not want to let myself even be able to forget because it is like so bombastically good. So I just started snapping and clicking on my phone, just texting it in so I wouldn't lose it. And that just happened to be it. So let's get on into it here. Dreamer is, again, that concept came from, the concept I had came from those two questions, like, what happens when we die, and do we ever actually like die in our sleep or anything? Excuse me, Mom. Oh my gosh, phone battery's dying. I'm gonna take this to a charger. Take this conversation to a charger. Do we actually ever really die in our sleep, or do we just wake up when we die in our sleep? Right. This is an awkward angle. But yes, Dreamer. So, bare bone basic. Dreamer is an insomniac. Yes, insomniacs exist. For those of you that don't know what an insomniac is, that is someone who can't seem to figure out how to go to sleep, go to bed. They can't seem to get unconscious or stay unconscious. And I just closed my book. They just can't seem to figure it out. There we go. So what they end up doing is staying awake for an extremely long period of time. Come on. Perfect. So here. From the perspective of Dreamer, this is a character who cannot ever actually get to sleep. He has never slept once ever since his powers and abilities manifested with the awakening of his system activation, right? The moment his system awakened and activated, his innate skills and abilities, powers and abilities and stuff, and talents, they all culminated into this perfect horror show for him that means he's never ever allowed to sleep again. Right? And at first it was like this totally awesome perfect ability because it made him basically immune to all forms of corruption of any kind, and any normal insomniacs are prone to this sort of physical and mental fatigue, right? Because there are certain symptoms and traits that go along with insomniism. And and when he just started and he realized, oh, I'm immune to all that physical and mental fatigue. Pretty much, yeah, I'm immune to that. Sign me up. This is a perfect ability. Right? But little did he know that all animate and inanimate existences all have certain tolerances and capacities of stress and stressors. So while you're immune to the physical and mental fatigue because of how your ability works, you're not immune to the stress and the toll that's going to take on your mind and your memories. Because while you're immune to the mental fatigue, you're not immune to any of the mental attacks and damages being done to your psyche in lieu of that fatigue that's happening to you. So you won't get tired. No. You'll be wide awake every second of every day of every year for all of eternity. Right? So that is the overpowered counterbalance to him and his abilities, where in the beginning it was all nothing but fun and games, but as time goes on and he realized he's not really all that perfect, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm really not all that perfect. So the audience can really tell and understand his story based around this concept where, let's say it like this, effectively he is more of a reality warping character, and there are times where he's not able to proficiently control his reality warping ability, and it makes him more into a reality shaper. And the way you can understand that is from the character's perspective. He ends up going about this and that, and he does occasionally fall asleep. But every time he falls asleep, he immediately wakes up as a different person. Right? Every single time. So he goes about his normal, regular life, where I think the longest period without sleep anyone's ever been recorded was like 5 to 6 days straight before their body gave out on them. So he literally lives on 3 to 5 days at a time, and then he just crashes. He passes out on the bar stool or whatever, and then he wakes up an entirely different person. Like, let me say it like this. I go 5 days without sleeping. I'm me. I go 5 days without sleeping. I'm going to pass out on this bar stool right here. And the moment I pass out and go unconscious, I'm going to wake up as Chris Brown, Chris Breezy, and for the next 5 days be yet again incapable of falling asleep, because that's how my ability works. I'm got no physical fatigue, I got no mental fatigue. And the moment I pass out as Chris Brown, I'm going to immediately wake up as Joe Rogan. And for those next 5 days that I am Joe Rogan, I'm going to move on and do anything and everything I can, and then pass out, crashed, because my Joe Rogan body can quite literally not take any more stress and damage, so it's going to crash. And when that body crashes, I'm going to wake up. Now, this guy at this different bar stool at that same bar next to this dead body, first dead body next to me, I'm going to wake up an entirely different person. So that's how his ability and powers work. You can never sleep, simply never sleep. And you are bound to pretty much exclusively die the moment that your brain is at its max capacity. Right? Because old age and stuff, there are certain studies that says people can get Alzheimer's or have Alzheimer's once the maximum memory capacity of your brain starts deteriorating and eating into itself, because your mind can't hold anymore. Once you have reached the pinnacle of what your brain and your mind can possibly retain, hashtag the retention curve, once you peak out, everything else is going flatline downhill, right? So that character, the dreamer, always perpetually in the dream state of another person who has lived a life and gone to sleep, He's perpetually in this state of constant, full awake awareness for the rest of his life, until quite literally his mind can't hold anymore. And that's the moment he's done dealio. He's dead now. So that is both his blessing and curse. For the time he's got, hey man, for as long as you live, you can for sure, for facts, be able to make this big, awesome contribution to the world, if you can handle the mental strain and damage being quite literally done to yourself and your psyche. So there are other nuances in there, like, so what happens if someone kills him before the end of his 5-day streaking cycle? Good, glad you asked. If something happens to him and that body dies, say in this path here, if someone ends up harming Joe Rogan while I am acting as Joe Rogan, oh no, I'm not going to be Joe Rogan anymore. I'm going to wake up as whoever that last person I was. That last person I made crash, I'm going to wake up as them again. So if it was Joe Rogan who I got hurt as, I'm going to wake up Chris Brown again, and I'm going to use him till his body crashes again, and then wake up an entirely different person, like Elon Musk. I went from Chris Brown to Elon Musk to the next person. Oh, that next person got hurt and killed. I'm going to wake up as Elon Musk. Oh, Elon Musk also got killed. I'm going to wake up Chris Brown. Oh, Chris Brown got killed. I'm going to wake up that last guy. Oh, that last guy got hurt. I'm going to finally wake up myself again. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to bed. Oh, okay. I'm now Albert Einstein. I'm now Stephen Hawking. I'm now Robert Townsend. I'm now Bruce Banner. I'm now Daredevil. I'm now Peter Parker. I'm now, he got hurt. I'm Peter Parker again. Peter Parker got hurt. So I'm sure that makes enough sense. I could go on like that for a long time. But that is effectively Dreamer. That is my canon version of the character whose alias is Dreamer. He's got a real name, but he's, again, that retention curve. He's long forgot it because it's been so long since he's been himself. So, effectively the narrative behind him and what I make the audience understand and aware of, or at least I intend to, is that this character of Dreamer, everything he dreams basically comes true, right? So it's like, we understand the concept and the idea of his like main ability that allows him to do this, but if you put yourself in their shoes trying to understand and remember, like say it was your ability, how long do you think you'd have to go through suffering a life like that before you actually realize that's how your ability works? How much are you going to forget? How much are you going to remember throughout all these incarnations, if you will, of living life without sleep? God forbid you end up crossing over as an insomniac into a species that doesn't sleep in the first place, right? God forbid you transfer over, I don't know, into some sort of rock golem or something. It's like, yep, I woke up as a, what's a creature? I woke up as a rock golem. I'm going to just stick with that. Darn, they never sleep. I'm going to have to destroy this rock golem. Darn it, I woke up as a gargoyle. There's really no sleeping here. There's really no sleeping here. I am doomed. I am just stuck. Oh, Jesus, an earthquake. Yay! The gargoyle has been destroyed. Finally. And who is this person again? Is this Chris Brown? No, Chris Brown doesn't look like this. Who am I? Right? But yes, right? That is the rather sadistic, for lack of a better word, if there is a better one or proper one, sadistic, dark humor-esque model I had for this character, Dreamer. That is a more sadistic character model I had for them. And that's too bad. That's so sad. Get over it. Right? Because, again, my realm of Millenia does not do this overpowered, everyone's got a happily ever after. I am a very pro Murphy's Law. The worst that can happen will be happening. Because that worst that can happen simulates reality. Where reality is all about, if it could happen, it would. And if it didn't happen, it was never really all that possible. It was not all that possible to begin with. So you never got to worry about it. So, hey, that's just me. You're a Millenia Mailman. That's the intel, that's the post, that's the news that I had for you today. By all means, if you like, go ahead, like, comment down in the comment section below. Any questions, comments, concerns, or etc. that you will. Share the video if you think this video, this topic, this discussion deserves a bit more exposure. And by all means, subscribe if you feel like it. Dislike if you don't. Have a good one with peace.